Want to recognize our expert advisor, Brett Gordon, who's the CEO of World Class Home Inspections and Mold Remediation. Would you mind if we started with a question that I get asked like fairly often when I'm dealing with someone who has experienced a mold problem? And that is, when you have somebody come in and remediate the mold problem, wherever the source of moisture is taken care of, you've done some air quality tests, everything appears to be in good shape. And if you're listening and you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. We'll get Brett to explain it. What else needs to be thrown out? Like, what can't you keep? What do you have to get out of there so you don't have a mold problem again?
Typically, it's any kind of porous materials, like usually carpet, cardboard, upholsteries, anything like stuffed animals, paper, like books, photo albums. A lot of times, I know a lot of people like keeping their personal stuff. Food-based product, stuff like that is what you'll need to actually throw away.
Have you ever seen a situation where they had mold remediation done, they didn't get rid of the porous material, and a year or so later they've got a same mold problem back because the mold spores are already in the stuff that's in the house?
Correct. If you don't do it right, it can end up coming back even a couple months, because all you need is high humidity even for mold to start back again. And usually if it's 55% or higher, mold can occur.
You have mold in your home, you get it remediated, can you just move right back in, or do you have to stay out a while?
Well, typically what we do is have the people stay out, obviously, when the mold remediation has been being completed. I mean, sometimes they can actually stay in a portion of the house as long as they're not in where we're actually doing, the remediation. So in other words, if we're doing it in the crawl space, they may be able to be in a portion of the house for a short period of time. Mm-hmm. But typically you want to be out of the house, usually for at least a couple hours to let everything settle.
Big question, because I've heard the saying, and I'm sure you've heard it as well, where there's mold, there's gold. And I think what that saying refers to is the price of handling mold remediation. Now, I have found your prices to make sense and to be reasonable. Does homeowners insurance cover mold?
It can, but the only thing is usually that's an extra clause that's actually in your insurance. So you need to actually check with your insurance company and make sure you do have that clause in there, because it does cost a little bit more to have that as insurance.
You have black mold, you have dangerous mold, and then you have sort of other kind of molds. Talk to us about the difference.
Well, there's obviously several different kinds of mold, but the black mold is what they call the toxic mold, the Stachybotrys mold. They also have like Penicillium aspergillus, which is it's a different type of mold, but there's over 1,000 different types of mold out there. But those are the most common.
So I got black mold in my basement, and I, as a homeowner, say, hey, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to go to Home Depot, and I'm going to get myself a nice gallon of paint, and I'm just going to paint right over that black mold. Will that do the trick, or am I going to still be in trouble?
Well, the thing of it is painting over it doesn't really kill it. If it's drywall, it needs to be actually removed.
So what are some of the health problems that are caused by mold? And then I want to hit just a little bit about how you clean up a small area of mold compared to a big one.
Okay. Well, you'll have watery eyes, runny nose, sneezing, itching, coughing, wheezing. You can have difficulty breathing, usually headaches. You can have fatigue. There's a lot of different side effects that mold can end up having. Typically, as a general rule, anything 2x2 or bigger, you want to go ahead and try to get a professional to help you out with.
Okay, all right.
Other than that, you can get some stuff like at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that to actually clean it up.